Coming to you live from George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Welcome inside our live streaming coverage of the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. Tonight, it's a big OAC crosstown rivalry. The John Carroll Blue Streaks and the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets in men's soccer here on bwyellowjackets.com. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Brendan Gulick. Tonight's contest sponsored by Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, the healthcare provider for BW Athletics. By Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. And by the Oswald Company, they'll handle all of your insurance and risk management needs. Yellow Jackets coming in with a 2-1-2 record through their 5 contests so far. After dropping the season opener at Capitol, the Jackets drew the next 2 contests against Ohio Northern and Otterbein and followed it up with back-to-back wins in their last 2 showings against Heidelberg and Muskingum. On the other side, John Carroll, who has had probably the most consistent team in the OAC certainly the last 6 or 7 years, if not deeper than that. John Carroll comes in with a 4-0 record. They have beaten Muskingum, Capitol, Otterbein, and Ohio Northern at the start of their truncated season. So the Blue Streaks are 4-0. Yellow Jackets 2-1-2. John Carroll did have a game canceled early in the season, so that's the discrepancy there. They were supposed to open up against Mount Union back on March 18th. Blue Streaks will be in their primarily navy uniforms. Yellow Jackets in the white and gold kits. And we are underway on a cruel April Fool's joke. It is not a nice day here in Northeast Ohio. 28 degrees and cloudy at the moment. The snow was coming down here in Northeast Ohio in truly whiteout fashion earlier today. It was quite a sight to wake up to this morning, and as the day has gone along, I guess the snow by this point has pretty much subsided. Obviously, the field's been plowed. You'll see as we pan left and right some of the snow piles at the edges of our playing surface, but considering the next couple of weeks consistently have high temperatures in the 50s and 60s, the fact that this game starts with 28 degrees, it's barely gotten above freezing today in Northeast Ohio, I think this is probably the last time we have to deal with some real cold and nasty weather here for a little while. All right, let's give you the starting lineups. We'll start with the Baldwin Wallace side of things. Of course, in goal, sophomore goalkeeper J.T. Brenneman, a young man from Wycliffe, and he's had a nice season so far this year in his time in goal. He's only allowed 1 goal over 3 matches that he's been in frame. Pretty impressive work from J.T. Brenneman so far. Other starters include freshman midfielder Ryan Stransky, junior midfielder Nick Surowitz, as John Carroll is on the attack. And the Blue Streaks will have a corner kick here. Michael Tusick, a freshman forward from nearby Strongsville. Freshman defender C.J. Kessler. Senior midfielder Bryce Posner, one of the veterans on this team now this year. Freshman midfielder from Lakewood, Julian Kieris. Zach Hoover, a sophomore defender. Trevor Ham, a junior defender. Attila Nagy figures in the defense as the Blue Streaks play this one through the middle of the box. Nagy, a junior, as this one's played right at Brenneman. And Brandon Garibaldi, a sophomore from just beyond the confines of this stadium, played his high school soccer at Berea Mid-Park. By the way, the wind is blowing pretty strong from left to right, so it's in BW's face here during the first half. They'll have to try and work with that here throughout the course of the evening. On the John Carroll side, their goalkeeper is also having a very good season so far. He is a junior, Connor Robinson. 1 goal allowed in 4 games thus far, and he's made 10 saves. Good work from Connor Robinson. He is from Wisconsin. Most of this John Carroll team are Northeast Ohio products or not terribly far away, which perhaps is all the more reason to point out the fact that Robinson is from Wisconsin. He does have a freshman teammate in Carter Esterly, who's from Colorado, but the vast majority of this team is from either Ohio, certainly Northeast Ohio, or neighboring states. Senior defender Max Hess is out of North Olmsted, a Northeast Ohio guy. Larry Cercissimo, Jr. He's a midfielder out of Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Stephen Shutt, a senior midfielder from Edgewood, Kentucky. Jared Ionero, sophomore midfielder from Kirtland. Nicholas Ruggiero, a sophomore defender. He also is a Berea Mid-Park Titan in high school. Blue Streaks working on the near sideline here, trying to get something going here early on. Benjamin Harisco, a senior defender from Strongsville. Leading scorer on the season so far for the Streaks is Jared Matei, a junior from Copley. Will Turretin, a senior from Medina. He is a very talented player in the midfield. Isaac Coleman, young freshman defender out of Nordonia. And Daniel Kalick, a freshman defender from the Powerhouse program in Northeast Ohio at St. Ignatius. Kalick and Ryan Notariani are both St. Ignatius grads. Goal kick coming for Brenneman. So those are your starting lineups tonight. Those are presented by Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Blue Streaks have gotten 2 goals apiece this season so far through these first 4 games from all 3 of these men, Matei, Turretin, and Harisco. They've certainly had a balanced offensive attack, and for the first 5 minutes of our competition so far tonight, that's continued to play out. And kind of get the vibe that this could be a rather defensive night for Baldwin Wallace. Good ball played across. I think Posner got his head on it. John Carroll wanted to strike it. Cercissimo couldn't quite find an opening. Long ball played in. Spinning toward the near side. Hess played it back. And it's deflected out for a corner. Well, certainly because of their style, but I think it has a lot to do as well with the wind. In the first half, John Carroll, and in the second half, I would imagine Baldwin Wallace would employ a similar tactic. Their back line is going to be pressed a long way forward. This one is just wide left off the deflected header. If you're going to work the ball down toward the goal on the far left side of the field, if the wind like this keeps up, it's going to be methodical, low, well-connected passes repeatedly. They're going to pull that off. Brenneman drives one toward midfield. Posner with the captain's band on for the Jackets. There's a little bit of good pressure, maybe a chance for BW that was quickly thwarted. Tusick was coming on strong. Was cleared away at the last minute. BW with the quick restart. Grab possession back. Played in toward the middle. Hess with a left foot sends it high. And a foul. It's whistled in favor of BW. So the Jackets will set up for the free kick. Head coach Reed Ayers having a quick conversation with Attila Nagy. It won't be Nagy that takes the kick, though. On the way in, off of Surowitz's foot, and scooped up rather harmlessly. Head coach for BW is in his 19th year. Long-time head coach here in Berea, Reed Ayers. He's assisted this year by a number of different guys. Nick Talgin, Vince Milner certainly back, but some student assistant coaches, including the great Danny Ruppel, who has firmly cemented himself, if not the greatest, certainly one of the greatest players in the history of Yellow Jacket soccer. He's on the coaching staff now, along with Ryan Hassel and Steve Foray. One stays in play. Brenneman over to it and clears it out. On the other side, certainly a familiar face in Hector Marinero. It's hard to talk about college soccer in Northeast Ohio without having at least mentioned Hector Marinero's name. This is his 15th year as the head coach, and he just picked up his 178th win recently, making him the all-time winningest coach in John Carroll soccer history. 2005 inductee in the Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame. The Yellow Jackets crosstown rivals have had a stranglehold on Ohio Athletic Conference soccer here for many years now. Jackets with a throw-in. BW kind of measuring things, taking its time, wanting to make sure they figure out exactly how they want to attack. In fact, it was Matei's goal over Otterbein last week on Thursday that gave John Carroll their third win of the year and the 178th for Hector Marinero. It was a rematch of last year's OAC championship game against Otterbein. And that goal from Matei, the only one in that contest. 1-0 victory. Blue Streaks on the near side of the field. Ruggiero plays it back centrally. Good spacing from John Carroll. Ianiro, right foots it ahead. Oh, it was nearly perfect. Sersasimo almost got his extended leg on the ball to direct it into the net. A beautiful attempt from Jared Ianiro. It comes up just a little bit off target on that nice cross. 11th minute of action, no score. Jackets have been outshot 1-0 technically, but John Carroll has had possession in more dangerous areas for certain. Larry Sersasimo. Knocked out of play, and it's back to BW. Another throw-in coming. I was mentioning the weather here in Northeast Ohio. I'm not sure if you're watching at home and you might be a Cleveland Indians fan, but Major League Baseball's opening day was today. The team is on the road up in Detroit. But the weather in Detroit wasn't much better than it was in Cleveland. And I guess it was funny, but at the same time depressing that on opening day the weather was as cold and miserable as it was today. Good news is when the Indians have their home opener next week, the forecast is much nicer, by a good 30 to 35 degrees nicer for next Monday. We'll keep our fingers crossed for that one, but thankfully the flurries seem to have gone by, and I'm not sure we're going to have to worry about those the rest of the evening tonight. Good patience from John Carroll, not forcing the issue in a crowded environment over there. Instead now near side where Ruggiero plays it back in the middle. Shut across. Turretin finds an opening. John Carroll, for as patient as they are, when they find that chance, they'll attack quickly. Turretin turns it over. And BW just kicks it into no man's land, and they'll retreat and reset the defense. 13th minute. Played ahead toward Matei. Last touch by him before it goes out of bounds. Getting into the center of the park, right-footed shot was ricocheted off The Yellow Jacket defense recovers. Good work there by BW defender Trevor Ham. Now maybe the Jackets can try and stir the pot a little bit. Quieres last to touch it before it went out of bounds. John Carroll tries the right side again through Agerio. Another couple touches with no one coming to guard him. I'll tell you what, BW is really packing that back line, making it nearly impossible to penetrate. And a good smart play. Posner just kicks it out of bounds in the corner. Not a whole lot of work yet for Nick Surowitz, who was standing hands on his hips. He's about the only Yellow Jacket that's not within a good 10 yards of the ball. Chance for Harisco, and it's taken off his foot. Sloppy turnover. Look at that ball. The wind is blowing so hard that not only does it stall in the air, but it actually started blowing back the direction it came. JCU throw in. They're going to call it a foul. Frankly, it should be a free kick. And it will be. Okay. More than a quarter hour into competition, and so far it's a level score, but frankly been dominated by the visiting side. Harisco will take the free kick, I thought. Nope, he'll actually give it up. They'll let Kaufman swing it in to the backside. I beg your pardon, Coleman swing it around. And he sends it too far. Isaac Coleman retreats back defensively now, back to his left back spot. And Brenneman will send it away. Top half of the OAC this year, at least so far from what we've seen in this non-traditional spring season. John Carroll, Marietta, Wilmington, Mount Union have all gotten off to pretty decent starts. Marietta's at 4-1 on the year. So are the Wilmington Quakers. Another one played in and deflected away. Still a chance here for John Carroll. Sassimo played it back into the middle. Yellow Jacket defense right now is being tested like crazy. Turretin. Now it's right-footed forward by the young man Kalick. Hess, who's pressed ahead. Left foot's into the middle. Ricochets away from Brenneman. The defense came to his aid. Trevor Ham got rid of it quick. Danger not removed yet. Good footwork from Sir Sassimo. And it goes back to Baldwin Wallace. Boy, this game right now just has that survival feeling. JT choosing not to send it deep, but instead play a series of short passes. Might be an unconventional way of doing it, but it worked out so far. And they do keep it in play. Tusick. Quieres. Went off a blue streak. C.J. Kessler right foots it forward. Kieres again. I'll be interested to see here how BW values the ball and maybe doesn't put up a crazy shot just because they're sick of playing defense. That certainly didn't work out the way you wanted. Having to quickly return on the defensive end. Then it works out in BW's favor. Oh, a crafty little play there. Surowitz alertly just sticking his right leg out and knocking that one down. Had a fighting chance to keep it. Jacket throw in. Posner now. Good work from BW playing patiently, especially considering they are trying to take some control of the tempo and rhythm of this first half. We're 20 minutes in. No score to speak of, but thus far, John Carroll has been the better side. Hess and Ruggiero exchanging passes. And BW gets a chance here. Try to get you a little natural sound here tonight. Been a little difficult because of the weather, but I think we've got a way to do that for you. Long ball hit ahead. Easy pickup. There we go. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Makes you feel a little bit more part of the action rather than just being tucked in a closet here. You'll have to put up with the sound of the wind, though. That's going to be hard to negate. It is one gusty evening. Ruggiero measuring. Blue Streaks try the other side. Halfway through the first half, John Carroll's only taken 2 shots. They've had a handful of dangerous opportunities. Baldwin Wallace has yet to attempt a shot. Hess taps it to a couple of Jackets. Posner ahead, looking for a little help. Tusick couldn't really get on it. Ruggiero's had a lot of action here in this first half. Good job by Trevor Ham. Certainly helps when you have center backs the size of Trevor Ham and Zach Hoover. Both guys play with a noticeable sense of physicality, but they've got that size presence to them as well that at the Division III level can certainly be effective. They're not huge players, but they try to play as big as they can. Ham listed at 6'2", Hoover at 6 foot. But it feels like he plays a little bigger than that. It's back to Brenneman. Another good one played forward off the head. I mentioned earlier that Hector Marinero just won his 178th win to take over the all-time lead in the history of John Carroll soccer. On the other side, Reed Ayers has won 200 games as the head coach here in Berea, and he's been the leader at Baldwin Wallace slightly longer, actually, than Hector has been across town. Reed Ayers has coached almost twice as many. Actually, it's more than twice as many games as John Oberholzer did back in 1988 through 96. Reed has been easily the longest tenured fixture in this program and has racked up way more wins than any of his predecessors. This is a proud program here in Berea. Frankly, two proud programs in Northeast Ohio that generate a lot of eyeballs. And certainly some really talented young men here locally. 25 minutes in the books. We enter the 26th minute, still scoreless. John Carroll looking for its first tally of the night.
The men's and women's track and field teams are back in action on Friday, April 2nd as they host the 51st Sparky.
Ruggiero off a defender. That one's headed toward Brenneman with the extended arms, no problem. That's off John Carroll, out of bounds. It'll be a jacket throw. Not sure Matei was particularly happy about that, but it certainly went off his right shin last. Matei tries to run onto it and does. Now can he play it ahead towards Sir Sasimo? It rolled too far away from him. Brenneman over to it. Substitution coming on for John Carroll.
In for John Carroll, number 24, Brendan Swan.
Here comes Brendan Swan, young man from St. Edward High School, but grew up in North Royalton. Swan immediately finding himself right in the thick of things in the middle of the field, waiting for a chance. Jackets cleared out on that right side. BW's defense, admirable so far tonight. They have been under duress most of the evening and have handled the pressure well. Hard to clear that one away. 28th minute now. Oh, it's a really good touch. Ruggiero plays back toward the corner. Hess can't get to it fast enough. I like the creativity there on the John Carroll side. So far this season, taking a look at some of the national figures, John Carroll's goals against average is top 10 in the country. They've only allowed one goal in the 4 games they've played. Meanwhile, offensively, at about 2.5 goals per contest. Actually, it's exactly 2.5, 10 goals in 4 games. That is top 30 in the nation. Blue Streaks also generate a good number of corner kicks. Almost 8 per game is 13th nationally. Yellow Jackets have hung their hat on their really solid goalkeeping so far. Brenneman in particular has helped this Yellow Jacket team to a top 25 save percentage as a team. They have stopped 85% of the shots that have come their way this year. BW lost the chance to have that one. Creative little play. Here's some of the frustrations maybe on the near sideline with some of the fans wanting BW to really get moving. Throw in for Quieres instead of for John Carroll. Quieres stayed in bounds just by a blade of turf as Julian Quieres is called back to his feet.
The men's golf team is back in action on Saturday, April 10th for a dual match against crosstown rival John Carroll University.
Hopefully the snow is melted by the time they play golf again. That could be a fun, different kind of challenge. Kessler right foots it low into the box. It's a good spinning ball. It was knocked away fast. Nagy angled it over toward Kessler. Back to Trevor Ham. Good longer sustained possession here for BW. This is a little more like it for them. In the meantime, John Carroll waiting to make a change with William Grubbs, the senior from Michigan, hanging out over on the far sideline. 31st minute of a scoreless affair. You know, it seems to be an element in tonight's game of not wanting to be the team that gives up a goal first because there's mutual respect of both sides' front lines. Perhaps John Carroll's is a bit more established with some names that you've heard over the last several years in the OAC. But I know Reed Ayers is confident in this young group he's got as Brenneman comes out and plays it on a hop. Brenneman sends a knuckleball toward midfield. Posner tried to play it forward. There are a couple of random snow flurries fluttering around. I don't think it's going to be enough to really affect play, but Mother Nature here on April 1st is certainly having some fun with us here in Northeast Ohio after we had a couple of incredibly good weather days not too long ago. JCU had a tactical advantage, but didn't really put their foot on the gas. Waited for someone on the near side to come running. I don't know if Hess realized it or not. Instead, they attack up the left wing. Streaks will play it in from the corner, and Trevor Ham knocks it out of bounds. Good try offensively. Well defended by the Jackets. And here comes Grubbs.
For John Carroll, number 16, William Grubbs.
Looks like they made another change as well.
And number 7,
Michael Burrington, young man of Archbishop Hoban, the Knights down in Akron. Burrington's in there as well. Just over 11 minutes left in the first half. Not a whole lot of action right in front of the goal on either end, but we've certainly had some possession and build-up in good areas. The Jackets have had a bend but don't break defensive philosophy so far. And the 4 fouls that John Carroll have committed have not really resulted in great looks for BW. They still haven't taken a shot, although they've had a couple of offensive sets that look like they might turn into something. Posner rips one ahead. That was poorly done, but John Carroll recovers. Robinson sends it out. This will be a throw in here for Coleman. Perhaps something coming here. Couple of good plays, finds an opening, and it's just wide left. So close for Burrington, but he couldn't tuck it inside the pole. All that work from Harisco and Burrington misfires. Jackets dodge a major bullet. Meanwhile, Baldwin Wallace waiting to make a sub where Armand Witt, the senior defender from Alabama, is going to get a chance here shortly. Reed Ayers wants some defensive reinforcements, and he might need them here soon. Burrington tries to get space. It's played wide here. And it will be JCU ball in the corner, but not before the subs. Witt comes on for BW. And Ian Fields, sophomore from Loveland, on for John Carroll.
And in for John Carroll, number 26, Ian Fields.
Back to Ruggiero. In the midfield now, ripped off the referee. The referee says, hey, we'll just play a drop ball here, and JCU will keep possession, but they'll do the sporty thing and play it in reverse, and then loft a new one ahead. Turned into a foot race for just a moment. Brandon Garibaldi had that measured nicely. 8 minutes, 10 seconds and counting here in the first half on a cold and windy night in Northeast Ohio. Back to BW, or I should say back to Carroll. Clearly off of Baldwin Wallace there. Ionero kept his feet, although he did slide a little bit. Jared looks like he's dealing with some kind of injury to his left hand. Hopefully he's okay. Kind of tried to shake that one out a bit. And another errant long pass. Well, John Carroll has controlled, I would say, 70% of the possession here in the first half. I mean, they have really made BW work defensively. And the Jackets deserve a lot of credit. Perhaps the second half with the wind at their backs BW might have a little more luck. Iannero with a good idea. Now Ruggerio's open. Back to shut. I think we've got a card coming. Wow. A yellow card issued well away from the ball. That seems to irritate Ian Fields. Referee must have heard or seen something that he had warned Fields about previously, because he had pointed to a couple of other spots as if to say, I told you when you were there and when you were there. Unfortunately, the conversation occurs on the far side of the field. We won't really get a good idea there. But not much of an argument from Hector Marinero. Of course, Hector, in addition to his coaching days at JCU, the all-time leading goal scorer in the history of the Major Indoor Soccer League back in the days of the Cleveland Crunch and the Cleveland Force. Those teams were fun to watch. Under 6 minutes left in the first half. Blue Streaks turn it over in the midfield, but they win it back quickly. Good long ball played up, chested toward the corner. Marisco got to it fast enough. Has another chance with the left foot as he spins one in the middle. Brenneman punches it away. Long winding up shot, well too tall.
The men's tennis team opens the 2021 season on Saturday, April 10th.
Iannero sent that one wayward.
Conference match against Marietta College on the Pop.
Two more new Blue Streaks coming on. Ruggerio runs off. They're going to make a couple positional changes. Connor Mendel, the junior defender from Wadsworth, is in, as is Aiden Bozak, freshman midfielder from Bay Village, went to Bay High. Changes for Baldwin Wallace as well. They include Owen Feely.
In for John Carroll, number 14, Connor Mendel, and number 34, Aiden Bozak.
And the last jacket sub, I think I just picked him out. It is number 27, Kalembe Kapita.
In for John Carroll, or in for Baldwin Wallace.
Out of Lincoln West.
Owen Feely.
Kalembe coming to it there. Only a couple minutes left before halftime.
27, Kalembe Kapata.
Iannero softly hits it over. Good long ball played in. The Jacket defense was waiting. Kapata now. Too light a touch. I mean, look how far forward John Carroll's back line is pressed. This is the right center back. And he's possessing the ball with 7 yards of space, a step or two shy of midfield. That doesn't give you an idea how windy it is. I'm not sure what does. Playing it back wide here. Kalick got to it. Right foots it in the middle, and it's headed over the top of the bar. Good delivery from Kalick, and a really good chance for William Grubbs Jackets avoid another disaster. 2:35 and counting before halftime. Some of the commentary down there between the fans is a little entertaining. I don't think they like the fact the referee was standing in the middle of play there. Might have impeded things a bit. Ricocheted shot fell to a Jacket. I'm quite certain that our head official's positioning was unintentional, and it was right in the middle of things there. Burrington has it thwarted. Less than 2 minutes left before halftime now. JCU plays back wide from the left. Brenneman doesn't handle it cleanly, but punches away without issue. Minute 25 now as John Carroll prepares to throw in. Another one played toward the middle. Streaks trying to keep the attack going, and they finally put one home. John Carroll off a rocket from Brendan Swan.
Goal John Carroll by number 24, Brendan Swan.
Swan makes it 1-0 with 1:13 left in the first half. Swan buries his first goal of the season. And John Carroll will have something to show for their efforts of possessing the ball as long as they did there in this first half. It was a tough break. Good goal. Another change for BW here as Kyle Eddy comes on. We can go into this a little bit more when we come back for the start of the second half here in a little bit, but Baldwin Wallace has not beaten John Carroll in men's soccer since October of 2010. It's been quite a run by the Blue Streaks in the meantime. They have won 7 of 8 with a draw back in 2012 here on this field. And most of the time, John Carroll has put up 3 or 4 goals. Their offense has been awfully good. 35 seconds left before half. Too far in front of Burrington. "17 seconds in the half. Playing through Nagy. Posner far. And that'll do it. Jackets throw it in right as time expires. And the first period is in the books. Brendan Swan rips one with his right foot right in the middle of the box, just inside the 18, on a ball that was redirected up his way. He torches it into the back of the net. John Carroll 1, Baldwin Wallace 0. Yellow Jacket offense will look for a little bit of life when they have the wind at their back in the second half. BW has not yet taken a shot in this game. We'll take a timeout here from BW, 15-minute halftime intermission. And when we come back, we'll have the start of the second half. You're listening and watching live streaming coverage of the crosstown rivalry. Baldwin Wallace and John Carroll in OAC Men's Soccer here at BWYellowJackets.com.
Tonight's men's soccer game is being webcast on the BW Athletic website at BWYellowJackets.com. You can view all BW home games on the website.
OEC, a leading technology company in Northeast Ohio, has an established educational partnership with Baldwin Wallace University to help drive the regional technology industry. By granting unprecedented access to patented technology with real-life application, OEC helps enhance and further BW students' educations while preparing them for their future careers.
Together with OEC, BW graduates will continue to shape and grow the regional technology community. Visit us at oeconnection.com.
Hi, I'm Christy Conrad, BW class of 2007. As an employee owner of Oswald Companies and one of over 50 BW alumni within our organization, I am honored to support our mission of caring for the needs of our clients each and every day. Exciting things are happening at BW as well as the city it calls home. We are proud to serve as a valued partner along each step of the way as BW's risk management and insurance provider. For more information, visit oswaldcompanies.com. Good luck this season and go Jackets!
At Cleveland Clinic Sports Health, we understand athletes. Whether you've been injured or want to improve your performance, we have a team of experts for your needs. Call 877-440-TEAM or visit sports-health.org to learn more. Cleveland Clinic Sports Health, proud medical provider for Baldwin Wallace University student athletes. Baldwin Wallace would like to congratulate sophomore All-Ohio Athletic Conference diver Zachary Pierce of Willis, Texas on being named the OAC Diver of the Year for the second consecutive year. Congratulations, Zachary. Baldwin Wallace would also like to congratulate senior All-Ohio Athletic Conference and academic All-OAC thrower Brooke Buchanan of Collins on being named the OAC Women's Outdoor Field Athlete for the second straight week and the fifth time in her career. Congratulations, Brooke. Baldwin Wallace would also like to congratulate junior All-Ohio Athletic Conference outside hitter Ivy Earl of Howell, Ohio on being named the OAC Women's Volleyball Offensive Player of the Week for the second time in her career. Congratulations, Ivy.
Hey, how's your father-in-law? Good. Hey, let's drink to your father. We're drinking to your father-in-law. Well, no, we're not doing it yet. We're not doing it until Justine says we're doing it. But we're doing it. We're going to drink to Timmy's father-in-law. What's his name? Bob. Hey, here's to Bob. Here's
Well, it's time to start the second half in Berea, where the John Carroll Blue Streaks lead Baldwin Wallace by a tally of 1-0. I'm Brendan Gulick. Tonight's contest sponsored by Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider for Baldwin Wallace University, by Barron's Bus Company, the official charter bus company for Yellow Jacket Athletics, and by Buffalo Wild Wings in Medina, Strongsville, and Warrensville Heights. John Carroll has a 1-0 lead thanks to a very late first half goal from Brendan Swan, who came on, I would say, about 30-plus minutes at least into the game. Brendan Swan scored in the 44th minute, just over 1 minute left in that first half. And John Carroll felt a whole lot better about their 1-0 lead at halftime, given the way they played. This one's played back into the middle and cleared away. I mean, John Carroll really, truly dominated play in the first half. They took 6 shots, 4 of which were on goal. Baldwin Wallace did not register a single shot. JT Brenneman did have 3 saves as he scoops up that roller. But the Yellow Jacket box score looks rather empty at the moment. No shots on goal. No corner kicks, no fouls, no offsides. They've certainly played a competitive match. They've had, a good chunk of the game played on the defensive end so far. And a goal kick coming here. But if you're BW, the other side of the coin here is, while it's disappointing to be trailing 1-0, it's only 1-0. And John Carroll certainly had a few instances where it could have been multiple goals in the first half. In addition to that, the snow has actually picked up a little bit, and the wind has increased. BW will play with the wind at their back in the second half, but so far, they have not really been able to get much on the offensive side of the field. We'll see how things might progress in that nature. All right, here comes Posner, and maybe the Jackets for a moment have a bit of an advantage. They quickly give it back. Jackets are trying to play through a couple of freshmen. Michael Tusick, certainly among them, young man from Strongsville. And junior Nick Surowitz out of Medina Highland. But a lot of freshmen in the starting lineup for the Jackets tonight at all levels of the defense. Or I should say all levels of the field, including on the defensive side. JCU with a free kick. Hanging up in the sky, Brenneman punches it out into traffic. He hits it a second time, and John Carroll goes over the top of the bar. Good effort from Jared Iannero, but the former Kirtland Hornet couldn't bury it. Again, the last time, I mentioned this late in the first half, the last time that BW beat John Carroll in men's soccer was October 27th, 2010. Robinson drives it away. Lots of names I could share with you from that game, but I'm not sure how many of them would resonate with you as an audience unless you followed these two programs for a while. Good play there. One got stuffed right underneath JT Brenneman. Baldwin Wallace's goalkeeper of that game was Ryan Hewlings. They had terrific players like Carl Vandendriesch and Pat Brennan leading the way offensively. Tyler Leister, Pete Chalderson, and Ricky Barth. More attack from the Blue Streaks. A Good work there from Sersasimo. This one's played to the back post, but nobody was home. A chance for Brendan Swan to put home his second of the game, and he couldn't get there quickly enough. They had beaten Brenneman. Streaks just missed. 5 minutes into the second half. Back in that game in 2010, John Carroll's goalkeeper was Matt DeMarchi. Jeff Kosick was on defense for that JCU team. Ben Vittmeyer scored the only John Carroll goal in that game. Jerry Rubino, Jake Milley played in the midfield. Wycliffe Odiambo was a pretty solid player for JCU. It's kind of fun if you follow these programs along the way. Some of those names from days gone by, they kind of creep up on you, don't they? John Carroll 1, Baldwin Wallace nothing. That was a good play. Kept alive by Garibati. JCU will throw in. Comes from Max Hess. Hess on the left side of the formation here in the second half. He was on the right side in the first half, so he stays on this near half of the field. Foul called on Surowitz. John Carroll playing through Turretin. Back to Shutt. Well, John Carroll's winning a lot of 50-50 balls. Not great if you're looking for a better prognostication for the Jackets. Brendan Swan having himself a heck of a night. Look at this effort. Swan swings it in and wins a corner. Brendan Swan, well done. Clock stops here for a moment. Like perhaps BW goalkeeper JT Brenneman is injured here. I hope Brenneman's okay. I didn't think there was any contact on the play there. But in the meantime, sophomore Matt Weaver is in to play goalie. JTU swings one in. They set and fire right into a Jacket defender. Weaver was walking right into the fire. And thankfully, didn't have to make a big play quite yet. Meanwhile, how about a little bit more on the sophomore sports studies major, Brendan Swan, who had a goal and an assist last year against Muskingum. Scored his first career college goal against Oberlin early in the year, back in August of 2019. And got his third career collegiate goal earlier today. Former St. Edward Eagle. Also played football in high school, was on a state championship team in 2018. He's got another chance here. Swan steps over, spins, and off the post. Oh, it's a brutal break. Brendan Swan can't believe it. He taps his chest and tells his teammates, my bad. A completely wide open net. Weaver bodies the save. Oh my goodness. How that didn't go in, I'll never know. Posner looking for Surowitz. Too heavy a touch. Wind is still blowing quite strongly from left to right, but it has not deterred John Carroll's attack one iota. just as they were in the first half. Their back line is pressed quite a bit forward. We've played almost 10 minutes now in the second half. John Carroll's had a couple of chances, but haven't registered a goal yet. They've taken 5 shots these first 10 minutes after taking 6 in the first 45 minutes. Into open space. Hess taps it ahead. And the Jacket defense does its job. Ham did a great job marking Michael Burrington. John Carroll's getting too many good looks right in the middle of the field.
Corner kick for John Carroll by number 24, Brendan Swan.
So Swan will take the corner. Swan flings a deep ball back there, and it was non-threatening.
The women's tennis team opens the 2021 season on Wednesday, April 7th, when it hosts an Ohio Athletic Conference match against the University of Mount Union on the Pop Collins tennis courts at 3:30 p.m.
I'll tell you what, the spacing, the organization, the communication from John Carroll's defense, it's head and shoulders above most other teams in the Great Lakes region. It has been for several years. And even in this incredibly strange, shortened season that we've had, certainly delayed by a few months, this team still looks like a well-oiled machine. Great ball played forward. It was just enough for Ham to get to. If not Ham, Sersasimo would have had a golden opportunity.
Corner kick for John Carroll by number 24, Brendan Swan. Correction, number 27, Isaac Coleman.
Coleman will take the corner. He'll in-swing from the left. And it's headed wide. Ionero got his head on it. John Carroll's 2019 season saw another impressive record. 18 wins, just 3 losses and 2 draws. Those losses came to Messiah College, who is widely considered one of the best programs in the history of D3 soccer. As the Jackets can't clear it away. That one's oddly deflected toward Weaver. They also lost to Ohio Wesleyan in double overtime. And then the Blue Streaks lost to Center College. The Colonels beat them in the second round of the NCAA tournament. John Carroll not only won the OAC championship again last year, but they also hosted the opening rounds of the NCAA tournament and beat the Presidents from Washington and Jefferson in the first round 2-0 before falling to Center College 3-1. Blue Streaks last year won their second straight. I guess I shouldn't say last year. It was the fall of 19. But last season, second straight and 8th all-time OAC tournament championship. After a missed strike there, stays on this end. And unfortunately for the Streaks, Larry Sersasimo couldn't catch up to it. John Carroll did go unbeaten through conference play in 2019. They did draw 1 game, and that was a scoreless affair with Mount Union. Last time an OAC team beat John Carroll was a loss to the Capital Crusaders back in October of 2018. 1-0 in double overtime. With the 4 wins this season, plus 8 last season and 6 additional, that's 18 consecutive. Well, actually, it's 19 unbeaten, 18 0-1 over their last 19 games in conference play. I remember John Carroll back in 2018 had a pretty exciting OAC tournament championship game with Ohio Northern. They won that one on penalty kicks, 5-4. Ohio Northern's also had such a good program over the years. And while the Blue Streaks have certainly had plenty of success in this conference, they have yet to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament. Blue Streaks back in 2018, also second round knockout in the NCAA tournament. A chance here for Hess. Good ball played to Swan. Brendan wants to pull the trigger, but defense all over him. Hess wins another corner kick.
Corner kick for John Carroll, number 24, Brendan Swan.
On the corner, it's headed toward the upper left and too tall. John Carroll has won an NCAA tournament opening round match 3 consecutive years. And in their 9 all-time NCAA appearances, Blue Streaks have a record of 7-8-1. Could this potentially be a team that comes back in the fall and maybe makes a run? Unfortunately, there is no opportunity for postseason play beyond the OAC tournament here in the spring. All the fall sports NCAA championships were canceled, but at the conference level, the OAC and many other conferences around the country have chosen to play. So they'll have their conference slate and they'll play a conference tournament, but that's it here in the springtime. Conference championship game is just a few weeks away. It'll be the 18th. It's a Sunday. Sunday, April 18th. The OAC Tournament Championship. Played 17 and a half minutes in the second half. John Carroll has taken 7 second half shots. Baldwin Wallace has not taken a shot on goal or otherwise all game. They only trail 1-0, but they have rarely possessed the ball deep in the offensive end as John Carroll brings on 2 changes. Ben Harisco and Jared Matei both back in there. Sir Sassimo checks out, and so does Michael Burrington.
And number 21, Jared Matty.
Just off the mark. My goodness, Brendan Swan nearly put it in the top left corner again. While Swan did score the Blue Streak goal, Brendan's night has been almost more defined by his near misses. He ripped one off the pole, hit the left post, and did not ricochet in. And he's had a couple of other really good chances that just misfired. A hat trick certainly not out of the equation for him with the way he's been playing. But only one to show for it so far. That is a great pass. A perfect touch to Hess. Weaver with a good save. Another opportunity now. Harisco Another corner. 7th corner kick for JCU. Well, I'll tell you what, John Carroll's offense has been well measured all night. They've had some lengthy, good passes.
Number 24, Brendan Swan.
Right on target. Jackets defending them well. This one's in the middle of the box. Bodies everywhere, and BW comes away without giving up another one. How about that defense? Max Hess just stuffed him. Maybe the Jackets now with a chance. Nagy plays it back. The Jackets get away with a sloppy tackle there. Nagy. Posner. Posner into the middle, looking for some help. Whistle blows. I think the referee wants to speak with the captain. So Baldwin Wallace has a free kick. The referee turned and spoke to Will Turretin and explained the reason for this very good opportunity for BW. Nagy and Stransky both standing over it. By the way, the clock stopped at 24:23. The referee asked for that when he brought the young man over. Nagy into the middle, and the Blue Streaks
Number 6, Attila Nagy.
don't really have to defend one there. That one is hit high in the air. I'm not really sure you can call that a shot. It went over the top of the goal. Now the clock is rolling again. 67th minute. Baldwin Wallace trailing 1-0. Hoover sweeps it ahead. Good play by Robinson. And a Jacket throw in. Curious can't run to it fast enough. Trevor Ham hangs it up in the sky. You know, for a moment there, kind of starts to feel like BW is being tired of, or I should say, is tired of being pushed around. And the Jackets have a little bit of life here over these last 2 minutes. Tapped forward. Oh, it was a really good idea, but didn't work out quite well enough. Matei wanted to play that one on the through ball, and instead Turretin stepped in, or I should say Turretin wanted to play the through ball, and Matei stepped in front of it. Inside 22 minutes remaining. BW trying to get the offense organized here. Rolled across. Ianiro. Looking for some help on the backside of the play. Still some snow flurries flying in the air, although not nearly enough to be annoying, just noticeable. Good effort there. Ryan Stransky. Nagy left foots it ahead, looking for a centering pass. And the foul called against Baldwin Wallace. Closing in on 70 minutes of competition, with BW still down only 1-0. But this has been a lopsided contest through the first hour plus. John Carroll has outshot BW 15-0 and 9-0 here in the first 25 minutes of the second half. Hess. They were going to let him play through it, but Posner called for the foul.
The baseball team, 7-5 overall and 6-2 in the OAC, is back in action on Friday, April 2nd, when it travels to Westerville for an OAC doubleheader against Audubon University at 1 o'clock. The next home OAC doubleheader is on Saturday, April 3rd, when it hosts Audubon on Fisher Field at 1 o'clock.
That was a bit of a dangerous play. I think Kieris is going to draw at least a little finger wagging there from the official. Surprised he doesn't get a yellow. I thought he went spikes up. And perhaps that card could still be awarded, as the two officials will discuss. And they are going to give him a caution. Hold on a second. He's been sent off. Wow. It's not a yellow, it's a red card. A straight red in the 71st minute. And it sends Julian Chiere south. Yellow Jacket coaching staff not happy. Well, you can hear some of the banter down with the fans just down below us. I don't think there was any question there that the foul was egregious enough to draw to draw a caution, a yellow card. But I am a bit surprised that Kieris was sent off with a straight red. So for the final 19:28 of regulation, Baldwin Wallace will play down a man. They have been outshot 15-0, only trailed by 1 goal, but this is suddenly a tactical nightmare. Kieris, the freshman from Lakewood, his first career red card. Well, the game's certainly still within reach, but BW needs to start making something happen here. John Carroll on the move up the right side, and they'll have a throw-in. Tonight's Tonight's contest, sponsored by Santo's Italian Restaurant in Middleburg Heights. Family owned and operated for 35 years. Also by American International. If you require a company with proven performance, rely on American International. From all of us at Baldwin Wallace, we wish you a happy, safe, and healthy Easter weekend. Thanks for making tonight's soccer match a part of your Easter celebrations. Jackets have lots of activity here at home the next couple of weeks. It's a busy time in Division III athletics with some of these fall sports playing in the spring and nearing their OAC tournaments. And then on the spring sports side, they are certainly deep in the heart of their competition. So Coleman now swings it in from the corner. Leaping header in front, knocked away. Decent chance for Harisco. It'll be Hess to throw in. In the meantime, I wish I had an update for you on JT Brenneman, but I do not. Brenneman is over on the sideline with his teammates. He came off very early in the second half on what appeared to be a non-contact injury. He was replaced by sophomore Matt Weaver, who's done an admirable job in JT's absence. But certainly don't know the extent of the injury and hope he's okay. 17 minutes left in regulation. This one's deflected toward the corner, and my goodness, if it doesn't spin out of bounds for a corner kick. Oh, we have a quick second. How about a big tip of the cap to Rob Becker and the athletic facility staff here at BW for getting the field ready today. Turf looks great. I think it's playing well. This one headed over the top of the bar. Another really good chance just off the wrong part of Harisco's head. Anyways, big thank you to those folks led by Rob Becker who got tonight's playing surface ready. It is still cold. It's still windy. 27 degrees outside.
15, Nicholas Ruggiero.
By the way, Nick Ruggiero came back in. Maybe a chance here. Turretin taken down in the box. No foul. The referee waves it off. Hess back centrally. Kalick. This is Coleman. And it's tapped out of play. Just a quarter hour left in regulation. Baldwin Wallace has some work to do. Only down one, but they've got to get possession of the ball and start threatening here. Hoover trying to win his battle defensively. And Harisco, I believe, helps win the corner kick. It sure does. Harisco and Hoover both a little slow to get back to their feet.
Corner kick for John Carroll by number 24, Brendan Swan.
So Brendan Swan will have a free kick in the corner, but not a corner kick. It's a de facto short corner. Swan puts one in. It's on the backside of the box. It slipped through off a jacket. We'll have another corner after a sub.
Corner kick for John Carroll by number 27, Isaac Coleman.
The sub is Larry Cersasimo. He's on for Brendan Swan, who's going to get a big high five from his coaching staff and teammates. Brendan Swan, what a night. Coleman swings one in. It's off Posner's head. Back to Coleman. Another chance now. Hoover cleared it for a moment. It's Hoover a second time. Sending it into the air, but not down the field. And a JCU throw-in. Baldwin Wallace only with 3 games left on its schedule, and only one will play here at home. They'll go to Wilmington on Monday, host Mount Union on Thursday, and wrap up the regular season on Sunday the 11th at Marietta at 2 o'clock. The OAC tournament would begin the following Tuesday the 13th. Top 6 teams in the OAC make the conference tournament. John Carroll will almost certainly be among that mix. I'm not sure if it's mathematically impossible yet for them to make it, but I can't imagine a scenario in which they're not in the tournament. This one's played in and cleared out. For Baldwin Wallace, they're going to need some positive results, but they certainly have a chance to be a part of that tournament. Right now, they're right along the cusp of it. And a corner kick awarded. Should BW lose tonight's game and fall to 2-2-2 on the season, it certainly helps that they've already beaten Heidelberg and Muskingum. They also drew Otterbein, so it could come down to a tiebreaker. We'll see. Still some games to be played. A chance there for the Streaks right in the middle of the box. Weaver will pull that one down. I think it was Connor Mendel who had a chance to perhaps put that one in, but it didn't work out for him. JCU throw-in. On the other side, John Carroll will host Marietta and Heidelberg before wrapping up the regular season down at Wilmington. The John Carroll Marietta game could be fun on Monday night. That's a series that JCU has dominated all time. Marietta hasn't beaten John Carroll in men's soccer since 2009. JCU has won every single year since then. No draws from 2010 through 2019. And that includes a couple of OAC tournament wins mixed in there as well. Really good chance. Weaver out to get it. Entering the 81st minute. Baldwin Wallace still hasn't taken a shot tonight. Jackets are playing down a man. They have, over the last 10 minutes, have been playing with just 10. After Julian Quieres was sent off in the 71st for going into a tackle, spikes up. Chance for Kalick, taps it forward, spun off of Ham. Oh boy. Well, Matt Weaver couldn't hang on to it. And instead of punting it away, we'll have a corner kick. John Carroll making another change. Jared Iannero back in there for Turretin.
Corner kick for John Carroll by number 20, Ben Herzicko.
Harisco. Yeah, another one comes up empty. .82 minutes complete. So far, Brendan Swan with his right-footed strike late in the first half, the only goal of the night. Well, perhaps a chance here. Harisco laid it off. Left-hand side, Ham marked it nicely. Now Hess. Swings it across. Back to BW. Maybe something coming here. Really good defense from Coleman. Ran with him the whole way. Six minutes, 35 seconds left. Jackets. The game is certainly not over, but they've got to get going here. Their mindset has been far too defensive. There were times in the first half where John Carroll's back line was quite literally playing at midfield or in front of it. They had the wind at their back. BW couldn't really grab possession. The second half hasn't changed it, though. Even though the wind considerably still blowing from left to right. This has been a straight possession-based domination. And unfortunately, Baldwin Wallace just hasn't come up with enough. I mean, look, they've played fine. You've only given up one goal thus far. I think the defense has done a good job. But the ability to string together passes through the midfield and generate an attack, it's just never been there tonight. Burrington back in there, threatened on Weaver. And yet there's only 5 minutes left in regulation, and there's still plenty of time as the Jackets were going to throw in. That gets killed off because of a substitution.
Number 12, Matt Begin.
Matt Began comes in for the first time here tonight. Maybe Matt's fresh legs can give BW a lift here late. Less than 5 minutes to play. Back to Weaver. And the flag goes up. It's the first offside call the entire match on either team. And it was relatively non-threatening. Under 4 to play. Weaver sends it down. Played on a hop. Connor Robinson, okay. shut. Coleman. Hess right foots it. Iannero flings it across. That was a good job of just getting it out of trouble. Ball is at least on the offensive half of the field for BW. That could turn into a free run, but Hoover gets there first. We're now under 3 minutes to play. Ball being played through the air. And John Carroll doing a good job just killing it off. BW running out of time. Good idea looking ahead for Garibaldi, but he couldn't get there. Iannero again. Coleman with 2 minutes to play. Back to Jared Iannero. He's got space. Kalick wide to the right. Mendel will throw in. Iannero. As we approach the final minute. No reason for John Carroll to ratchet things up if they're not pressured there. That one's played over the top. They'll rule it onside. Nope, the flag finally does go up.
Less than 1 minute remaining in the second half.
All right, so it's the final minute. BW certainly fighting to the end here. This could be perhaps their last opportunity. Matt Weaver will crack it as far down the field as he can. Finds into an opening. Sersasimo clears it. Jackets hoping they have one more chance. Not going to come, though. Instead, Hoover just trying to get to it. And John Carroll does the classy thing. Turretin dribbles toward the corner. And with 10 seconds remaining, we'll kill off the rest of the time.
8, 7, 6, 5,
Baldwin Wallace certainly gave it their best effort,
2, 1.
but this was not what they had in mind in a rivalry contest. John Carroll wins 1-0. Brendan Swan scores in the 44th minute. Baldwin Wallace did not register a single shot in 90 minutes. John Carroll, 10 shots in the second half, 16 total. 7 of those 16 were on target. Blue Streaks had 12 corner kicks in addition as they threatened throughout the course of the night. Baldwin Wallace, again, I think they played pretty well defensively, considering especially over that last 19 minutes they were playing down with only 10 men. Just not an easy night by any stretch of the imagination. And frankly, it's nice that these two teams were able to compete. You just don't take anything for granted right now with what's going on with the pandemic and some schools, different sports across the conference. Nothing is easy. Nothing should be taken for granted. And John Carroll certainly putting together a good performance again here in 2021. So the Blue Streaks go to 5-0 with the win. Baldwin Wallace drops to 2-2-2 through their first 6 games in OAC play. Jackets are back at it on April the 5th, Monday at Wilmington, the day after Easter at 7 o'clock, looking for their third win of the year against the Wilmington Quakers. I'm Brendan Gulick. Thanks for tuning in throughout the course of the night. Again, the final score, John Carroll 1, Baldwin Wallace nothing. We'll see you again real soon. JCU wins on the road tonight in the battle between the two Northeast Ohio rivals here in the OAC. We'll see you soon.